So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview, broadcast and recorded live on blogtalkradio.com from the new Media and American League Baseball capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. Has paid his dues, and I suspect doing it. He's the guy you know and recognize when you see him. Oh yeah, you think, that guy. He was Housewives' beaten down, much younger husband, Mayfair. But before that, you've seen him in every late lamented Firefly to the online sensation blog. Co-starred in the movie Waitress with Kerry Russell. Now it appears he has met the role that could be a perfect match for him. He is novelist, the lead character in Monday Night ABC. The show, which may remind viewers of a certain generation, mine, of Moonlight, viewers perhaps of Bones, airs at 9 p.m. Here's a little clip.
Castle, what are you doing?
Promise not to hate me.
I already hate you.
Fair enough. This morning, with the body, I took a couple of pictures.
You took photos of my crime scene?
When you get mad, I emailed a couple of them to a friend of mine.
You emailed them to a friend?
Well, not exactly a friend. She's my interior decorator, but when we slept together, so I don't really know what she is now.
What the hell were you thinking?
I know, right? You work together, you think it'll be fun, but then it always makes things weird. It's a real cautionary tale.
Nathan, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hey, is this Bob?
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Now I can hear you. You were getting cut out a little earlier.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I don't know what's going on. Apologize for that, but glad you're here now.
Cheers, cheers.
Yeah. So I'm just going to come right out and say it. I really like your new show. It's very cool.
Thank you very much, Bob.
You're welcome very much, Nathan. Now, the moonlighting comparison seems apt to me, but I'm probably referring to a show that starred Sybil Willis with a full head of hair. Mm-hmm. What do you compare Castle with?
You know, I'm much like you. I've compared it many times to. I've said it's Moonlighting meets Murder, She Wrote, but I say that having not really remembered Moonlighting and never actually seen Murder, She Wrote.
Okay, then. Well, of the former, the latter, I think we can both agree it probably doesn't matter. You've been around a bit. You've tried a few different roles for size.
What was your question? I'm sorry. I've tried a few different roles for size.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. What attracted you to Castle?
The fact that Castle's having fun every day. I think he's very, very childlike for a number of different reasons. One, he's never really had an adult role model in his life. He certainly never had an adult male role model. His mom, a wonderful woman, but not much of a role model for him. So in his adulthood, he's enjoyed a lot of success. He's a financial success. He hasn't had much by way of worries. So I don't think he's ever really grown up much, and that kind of a quality attracts me. He's having fun all the time, and I think people are attracted to Castle because they're attracted to the good time that seems to emanate from him.
Does that reflect you at all? I mean, you seem so comfortable on the role, like you're just a comfortable pair of shoes, and it just seems to fit you very, very well.
Yeah, I find it an easy role to play, and because I think he's very much like me in that fact. I mean, I was going to be a high school teacher up in the frozen tundra of Edmonton, Alberta. Now I'm sitting here talking to you in Los Angeles about my new show on ABC, and I'm an actor. I'm an actor actually acting. I'm employed doing the dream job. So my everyday is a bit of an adventure.
Well, I was going to ask you about this. I mean, it doesn't seem like such a tough outside. Thinking that last year you were hanging out with Dana Delaney and Terry Hatcher, this year Stanicatic. Not some bad work.
You know, I've always said that if you want to be a success, do good material and surround yourself with talented people. So in that, I've been very, very fortunate. At the same time, I've also been very fortunate that the talented people I've surrounded myself with are by and large, gorgeous women. That's always a plus.
I mean, even your mother on Castle she's an older woman. I know her. She's very attractive. Your daughter is an attractive young lady. I mean, tough life. Tough.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, and that's the thing too. I mean, you're right. Actually, you're absolutely right. Susan Sullivan, a beautiful woman. Actually, you can actually, and this happens to me. I find beauty to be intimidating, but what's wonderful is that these people are so incredibly kind to me, and you can respect their talent. So not only are they actually wonderful people, but they're wonderfully talented. It just makes your job, your life, so very, very easy.
And you're willing to deal with the being intimidated by beautiful women.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the hazard. That's the hazard of my job. Yeah, I'll take that one. Now,
I'm going to describe this in a general way. If you want to elaborate for people's show, and I think it's been on 3 or 4 weeks now. You play a novelist, and you are hanging out with Detective Kate Beckett, New York Police Department, played by Stana Katic, and you are gathering information for your next novel. Is that the general premise?
That's exactly right. Yes, I'm a murder mystery novelist who has been stricken by writer's block. He killed off his most popular character out of sheer boredom of his own success, and has circumstances allowed him to meet Kate Beckett. He became a consultant on a case and enjoyed it so much, and of course is attracted to Kate Beckett, so has arranged it so that she is forced to continue to bring him along on cases. He first of all, he wants to spend time with her. Second of all, he's using her as a muse for his new character in a new series of novels.
I'm sorry, my switchboard has gone haywire here. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even mention that to you, but just so you know why I paused.
No problem.
Tell me about the first time you met.
The first time I met Stana Katic? I'm so sorry, Bob. You were breaking up again. Are you talking about the first time I met Stana?
Yes, I'm sorry. That's exactly what I was asking about.
I was one of the first people cast in Castle. So I came in one day for a read through. They call it a chemistry read to see how two actors work together, how they can work things out together. I was just supposed to read with the one actress, and I said, "Listen, I've got all afternoon, and I'm interested and I'm invested in what's going on here. So I'll continue to read with all these ladies, if you like." So they were very, very cool about letting me in on that process. It was a lot of women that we read with, and Stana came in, and the chemistry that you see on the television program that we're also very fond of and happy with and proud of was what we created there that day. It was always, that's what you want to see.
I have a little clip from that I'd like to play for people to get a sense of the interplay between your characters. Let's give a listen.
You okay?
Yeah. Why?
Can't be easy breaking that kind of news.
Yeah. Well, thanks for not making it a joke.
Yeah, I'm a wise ass, not a jackass.
I didn't know there was a difference.
So, what's your next move? Last person to see him alive? Establish a timeline? Grab a donut? More really bad coffee?
This female detective of yours, exactly how much will she be based on me?
Well, she's not too bright and kind of slutty.
Right, so was that wise ass or jackass?
Actually, that was jackass. No, honestly, you're not going to have anything to be embarrassed about. She's going to be really smart. Very savvy. Haunting good looks. Really good at her job. And kind of slutty.
And kind of slutty. Just Nathan, this is the kind of show where I think if ABC gives it a chance to catch on, viewers will become very attached to the interaction between Castle and Kate. Where do you want to see the relationship go?
You know, what I'm really fond of is, people want to package it and put it into something they can say quite instantly on television in an interview. There's chemistry, but will they or won't they? Are they ever going to get together? It's not so much are they ever going to get together. It's more so about when you actually do have two people who are actually attracted to one another. Maybe not a perfect match, certainly not their personalities, but they are attracted to one another. They can at least respect each other's talent for actually solving crime. They have to spend time with one another to get to know one another, and they are both flawed. Kate Beckett cannot relax. Richard Castle cannot stop relaxing. These people are going to learn more and more about each other. I mean, I'm certain, love at first sight happens and people get together instantly like that. But by and large, the reality is people meet and they're not instantly compatible. And these two are certainly no exception. They've got to get to know each other. They've got to spend time with one another.
Well, I was going to say that I think everyone assumes that you two will go through myriad twists and turns on your way to eventually some compromising positions. But the exposition, it's the journey that makes it interesting. It's not, if they slept together next week, a lot of people will lose interest, and some of that the tension and the thrill of the chase is gone.
Bob, I think that is very well put. That is very, very well put. And it kind of drives me a little bit crazy when people say, "Oh, so this chemistry, are they going to, stay with this kind of chemistry thing going, or are they going to get together right away and ruin it?" That's actually questions that people ask me, and my answer to that is always, "No, we know that it's a risk, but we're going to get together right away and ruin it."
I saw, I guess it was a Sunday a few weeks ago. One of the cable channels was running episodes from the old Ellery Queen series. Nathan, I think you're a little younger than I am. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it was Tim Hutton's dad, Jim Hutton, plays a novelist who writes murder mysteries and helps his dad out with cases. And that might be a show that this reminds people of if they're as ancient as I am, I guess. Where there's a relationship going on with Ellery Queen and a girlfriend, or maybe is a girlfriend or isn't a girlfriend, but it's a novelist and there's murders being solved, and it's just it has a similar kind of rhythm to it, I think.
Well, it sounds good to me. I mean, what's something I really enjoy is the fact that this guy, Richard Castle, is not a homicide detective. He is not a cop. He has not been trained, nor has any experience actually solving crime. And he doesn't know the rules. He doesn't know the law. He doesn't know how it all works. So he's getting an education as he goes. But what he does have is a real knowledge of story and a very creative angle. He's well-read, and he's very clever. So he has his own angle. He's after the story. He doesn't so much care about the criminal, the justice. He wants the story. I like his angle.
Tell me about the difference between being a co-star for a season on like Desperate Housewives, or maybe it was more than a season, but Desperate Housewives, and then versus taking the lead on another ABC series like this. How is it different? How is it similar?
Well, first of all, the workload and the schedule on Desperate Housewives. All those women do all the heavy lifting. There's a lot of work to be done on that show, and those women really take care of it. So as a guest, I was there for one season as a guest. I got to have a lot of fun. I got to come in and dabble in a bunch of different little storylines, but there's all the hard work is really done before I ever get there. With Castle, we're looking at 14-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week, mostly 5 days a week, but there's been a few Saturdays we'd have to come in. The schedule is grueling, to say the least, but there certainly is something to be said for having a little more meat to dig into as an actor, to invest and to really create a character, and to get to spend time with your own character and learn more about your own character. There's something to really be said for that. I really like Richard Castle.
Did you ever have a sense while that was any kind of a trial for you with ABC? Did they already have bigger things in mind for you?
Did I have a sense that what? I'm sorry.
That your role on Housewives was a trial run for something bigger, that maybe ABC already had in mind something else?
No, I don't think so. It was after I had kind of wrapped things up with Desperate Housewives, or as I was just wrapping things up, that I signed what they call a holding deal. I had written a pilot that I was interested in maybe shopping out to a couple of networks, and Touchstone and ABC were interested. We talked about my pilot, but it didn't get very far. But when they said, well, we have these other shows, why don't you take a look at these? I was looking through a bunch of different scripts that ABC had thrown my way, and just for no reason, Castle was at the bottom of the pile of scripts and at the bottom of my schedule for meetings. When I finally got to Castle, I was getting a little disheartened because there's some things that I was very interested in, but not right for. Not very interested in, but still, good projects. But then Castle came along, and I thought, this is it. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. This porridge is just right.
Now, who's the creator of the show?
This is Andrew Marlowe. You'll remember him because he wrote that fantastic movie Air Force One, among many other things.
Oh, okay. All right, and I mean, you've worked with, you've worked on a Mark Cherry show. You've worked with Joss Whedon a couple times. How does this fit in terms of the writing and the process and all that?
I'll tell you, I think Andrew Marlowe is kind of creating certainly a more adventurous version of himself in Richard Castle. Andrew Marlowe is a writer, and he's a scamp, and he's funny as heck. He is so funny. Dry. I think he's kind of having a little bit of fun, basically doing a kind of a caricature of himself in Castle. He might, I don't know if he'll agree with me, but that's what I see. He's such a scamp about it, and that's definitely a quality that Castle has.
I want to, I've got one more clip I want to slip in here. This is, actually, you're not in this until the very end. This is Stana, and I'm afraid I don't have her name in front of me, the woman who plays the medical examiner on the show. This is a little clip between them. Let me play this for
Hey. Damn, girl, you scared me.
Lainey, you're surrounded by corpses.
Yeah, I don't expect a living after 7 o'clock.
Funny, neither do I.
I'm an ME. What's your excuse?
Oh, don't be mean.
You deserve it. Getting a drink with me after work instead of getting your freak on with a writer boy?
Yeah, well, he is annoying, self-centered, egotistical, and completely...
Fun. And take it from me, girlfriend, you need some fun. I mean, how bad can he be?
Beckett.
Guess who's got a date with a prostitute?
I hope I'm capturing it for people, or at least...
Well, I just lost you, Bob. If you can hear me.
Rhythm.
Sorry, I lost you just after you started talking there. We're having a lot of trouble.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the network, our network is having right now. It's coming. I'm hoping that I'm capturing the essence of the show for people who have not seen it, because it's fun. The goals. It's if you've been come and gone, this is the kind of thing you want to go and give a try.
I agree. Bob, thank you very much. You've been very sweet. They're giving me the wrap it up symbol here. I think I got to move on and do some more satellites. Not
a problem. You can catch up on the episodes of Castle that you may have missed at www.abc.com. I see you can also order the complete DVD of Castle on Amazon.com or MrMedia.com, even though it won't be available until September. Nathan Fillion and new episodes of Castle on ABC at 9 p.m. And Nathan, thanks so much for joining us on Mr. Media today.
Bob, thanks very much.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks, sir.
All right. And folks, for with TV actors, directors, producers, and screenwriters, surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier conversations with the men and women of Chuck, The Starter Wife, Psych, ER, Worst Week, My Name is Earl, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and many more. And please think about writing an online review of Mr. Media, casting a vote for Mr. Media, or marking Mr. Media as one of your favorites. That's whether you listen on Blog Talk Radio, MySpace, Facebook, High Five, Tag, Bebo, Orkut, Digital Journal, Podcast Pickle, Vox, Pointer Online, iGoogle, Yahoo, Folio, Mediafly, Podfeed.net, Blueberry, Zencast, or Odeo. You get the idea. You can find us pretty much everywhere. Subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. That's ANDELMAN. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today and bearing through some technical problems. I really appreciate you sharing a piece of your day with Mr. Media. Thanks for listening, and please come back soon.